Hey, welcome back. So now we are going to do what I said in the last video, and we're going to go ahead and get that fence set up for the pigs. Yeah, let's get to it. I already got the Kubota running, so let's head over. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this section strung up with the wire. We were going to do it in that last video, but ran out of rebar. So I went up to get rebar. Man, take quiet down, y'all hear me. So I went up to get rebar at the lumber yard up here, and last time I got it, I got a big 20-foot section. They cut it up for me. Well, they couldn't do that this time, so I ended up not getting rebar because I can't get a 20-foot section home. So I went to Southern States and got these cheap little plastic posts that I've so far avoided using, but we're gonna try them out. Needed 4 to get done this section, so I got 4. We'll see how they do. I can't imagine these are gonna last very long and be sturdy and be anything what I want, but they are cheaper, so if they do work out, save a little bit of money. But it seems like these are probably just coming out of whatever cheapest Chinese factory they can get them out of. I don't know. Maybe they're American made, but they're plastic. I don't know why the world's going to plastic, but whatever. So we're gonna try to get these pigs opened up into this section behind me here, where the pumpkins and squash used to be. And then we'll open them up and see how hesitant they are this time. Like I said, they might be less hesitant because there's probably still a little bit of remnants of squash and pumpkins and whatnot over there that they might be eager to get. So we'll see. Let's get to it. Now these only are in straight lines, so they shouldn't really ever have much torque on them, so whatever. I don't want to forget the most important step to this process. Alright, let's talk wire for a second. So, I always just use regular, galvanized steel wire. And then I went and bought new wire, and they had 17 gauge. I was like, alright, whatever. And then realized this is really expensive. Why is it so expensive? Well, I got it from the local hardware store, so I was like, alright, yeah, whatever. They increased their margins, small shop, whatever. And I got home and realized, oh man, it's aluminum, which is why it was so much more expensive. 5-shock here, aluminum, and 17 gauge. And I'd never done aluminum because it was more expensive, and I was like, well, why the heck? But I'll tell you one thing, I kind of like this aluminum, and I think I might stick with the aluminum from now on, because when I gotta get more, because it is so much easier to bend and twist. Sometimes I gotta get with the steel, I gotta get out pliers and stuff, and usually with this I don't have to really twist it around and do what I need to do with it. It's actually really convenient. Oh yeah, right there, I'm reading this now. See, I never read this until now. Can be twisted and tied by hand. Won't rust, and it's better conductive. It costs more and I'm always cheap, but man, just being able to twist that with your hand, that's way worth it. But as always, I'll find this on Amazon and put a link into it in the description. It might not be this 5-shock, but I'll find some aluminum wire. So if you're just looking for anything, I know, look, it's one of them affiliate links, so if you buy it, we get like a little, commission or whatever. And that's nice. But the real reason I try to put the products in the description is because I know when I watch videos and I see someone use something or doing something, man, I hate it when I'm like, oh, what are they using? Or whatever, because like that looks easy, I want to try to use that or whatever, and then you can't find it, you comment, they never reply. So I love when videos put the items in their descriptions, that way I can find it if I think it looks good or whatever. So that's the reason I kind of want to do this for everybody, because I love it when people do it for me watching videos. So I'll have that and everything else in the description if you're ever curious what we're using. And if I do something, use something, you're curious, yeah, leave a comment. I'm usually real good about commenting back. So, yeah, feel free. So, yeah, we got that section all strung up. But I had to feed them just to kind of keep them happy while I did this. So now they're probably not going to want to move. So I'm actually going to wait till tomorrow, which will be like a flash for you guys. Alright, so it is not the next day. It's actually like 2 weeks later, but life gets in the way. There's YouTube and then there's real life. So, let's get to it. Alright, we've got some food to try to lure them over with, and we'll see if they cross. I hyped it all up, but you might get a little letdown, because this is their 3rd time, so. Yeah, just as I suspected. That's Leia. It's our sow. She's been here the longest. No contemplation, they just walked right over the metal itself. So yeah, that was quick and easy. Not a whole lot to see this time. They're getting used to it. As they've been let, across that electric line. 1, 2, that's the 3rd time now. And we've let them across the line a time or 2 at the old place as well, at least for Leia and one of the older pigs, the bigger one there. The last time that process took, 20 minutes to get them across. Well, it took only a few minutes, but there was one that hung back. That was also when we had more. They aren't so scared anymore. Leia sometimes will even let me pet her now. And she's like super skittish. These guys are a little tougher to pet. And a little more nervous because... There we go. Good job. Because we don't really interact with them as much. Which is kind of a bummer for Leia. And we don't name... Leia's the only one out here with a name. We don't name the others just because... figure it out. So this may have been a bit of a letdown. Sorry about that. But, like I said, next video, or some video in the future, we're going to be tilling here. It probably won't be the next video now because it's gotten too late into the winter. Ground's not really drying up very well. So I'm probably just going to till once before we put the potatoes and onions in the spring. And I'll probably make a video telling you guys a story about our first interaction with animal control. Dude was actually pretty cool. He just had to come out because people complained that our pigs didn't have great shelter. And that's our mobile shelter. And if you've seen other videos with American Guinea Hogs, you'll know that that's a pretty decent shelter. I've seen people with just like hay bales and tarps and pallets and tarps, but hey, that's a pretty good shelter we've got going on there. And we can move it, which is nice. But yeah, somebody didn't like our shelter, complained, guy come out. The guy was pretty nice about it. Told me a story about someone, he had to go out because people were calling, complaining that the buffaloes, somewhere else in the county, someone had buffaloes, and they didn't have appropriate shelter. A buffalo. Said he's also gotten calls about cows standing in mud. Yeah. But I guess that's what happens when you're kind of in a rural area that's closely surrounded by, a bunch of... But we'll tell you that story here soon, probably, unless I decide not to rant about it. It really annoyed me. I grew up with the idea that if you have a problem with somebody or what someone's doing, you take it up with them and, you don't go tell the principal. Maybe when you're a kid, but eventually you grow up, right? That's it for this video. We'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 all that stuff that everybody says on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. See ya.